Welcome to the Truth Club, the podcast where two best friends have a good laugh and possibly a cry about the things that matter and the things that don't. You're now a Truth Club VIP with an access all areas pass to our honest opinions. So here they are. Oh, and we're your hosts, Carly Smallman, that's me, and my comedy wife, Alyssa Kyria.
Hello and welcome to the Truth Club.
Hello, we're so excited to be back for today's episode. My name is Carly and this is my lovely wifey for lifey, Alyssa.
Hello.
And we're here to tell the truth about some more stuff. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been tuning in and listening. This is more popular than we ever thought.
We're so excited.
So excited.
Yeah.
We're getting amazing messages, aren't we, from our wonderful listeners talking about how they piss themselves laughing on a dog walk.
I know, I'm sorry about that, everybody. You know, making you actually urinate in public, but we're so pleased that you're pissing yourselves. Listen to us. And people saying that it's like being in a room with friends, which is so nice because we are actually in the same room as each other this time.
This is our first Truth Club together. We're beyond excited. We literally are in a room with friends, so
yay! And so the sound won't hopefully be as crap, and it'll be hopefully so much better for your ears as well.
It's blowing our minds,
dear listeners. So exciting, and we're having wine, and it's lunchtime.
Oh, do you know we are nice to ourselves.
It's the self-care we were talking about on the previous episode. Please catch up if you haven't listened to it so far.
Very good plug.
Thanks, wife. Thank you.
Let's start off in our usual way with our highlights and lowlights of the week.
Highlights and lowlights. Okay, so Carly, what are your highlights and lowlights?
Once again, I have had a completely mind-numbing week. I feel like I'm excited to get to yours because things have happened to you, but I feel like nothing happens to me anymore in this lockdown. Okay, so I am going to start on a high and bring us down.
Excellent, good. That's what our listeners are looking for.
That's what they look forward to every week. My highlight is that as of this week, we can go and get drunk in a garden with friends.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't have a garden, but
no.
I have actually put in the preamble work for this for years by making friends.
Yes, you did. You've done really well there. You've got some. Carly's got some friends, everyone. And some of them even have gardens.
Well, I'm basically looking... It's so funny. Alyssa's already invited me today to go and get drunk in her garden.
Yeah, of course.
It's so wonderful. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I just feel like this is the first step in the old lifting of lockdown restrictions that feels like a real step forwards. Because let's face it, kids going to school, I know it made a difference for you because now you're not a home tutor. Which I know we all know how that went.
Yeah, I don't think you need me to go into that again, do we?
No, it was sad.
It was intense.
But for me, I haven't really noticed any lifting of restrictions since we went into them back in mid-December.
Yeah, true.
So this is the first time that oh, that's my dog. If you can hear anything, my dog is very jealous that someone else is in the room with me.
He's been used to just having Carly all to himself.
I'm here I can't wait for lockdown restrictions to lift, and he's there please, no, I've got codependency issues with my mama.
Oh, Nola's a bit like that as well at the moment. It's really sad. But that's so brilliant. So that is your highlight. Fabulous. I completely agree with you. I actually did ask Carly to come and get drunk in my garden, but she said, no, I'm getting drunk in someone else's garden today. So she's got her social calendar packed.
I've got my social calendar packed, and even though I am slightly concerned about my alcohol intake, I'm not concerned enough to change anything.
No, exactly. Let's not change that because that would mean I'd have to look at mine as well. What is your lowlight?
Okay, I'm going deep into the lowlight this week because this is the Truth Club, and I was speaking to Alyssa beforehand, and I nearly did not say this as a lowlight, but then I changed my mind because I thought this is the Truth Club.
That's right.
My lowlight is I've been having a lot of friction with my family this week, who are my bubble. And the thing that I've been finding really difficult, and I don't know the same for any of you dear listeners, and I know what's been going with you as well. Mm-hmm. Lockdown has been so intense that the only people that you're allowed to see are the very people who you fight with.
I'd drive you crazy.
Drive you bloody crazy. I mean, it's just getting to the point where I need to go and be indoors with new people. The problem also with my family is that everyone's unemployed, not through choice, but through pandemic. We're all performers. That's why
they're like the Von Trapp family.
Yeah, I know. That's why I have so many emotional issues and yet so much self-belief.
That's really good.
But I think we're all got really bored. And so conflict is just arising. And we know me, I've got anxiety problems and we don't like conflict.
No, you don't.
No. So, yeah, that's my low light. I won't go into too much detail, but let's just say that I'm the good one and everyone else is bastard. Let's just say that.
That's absolutely not just her side of the story. That's actually what happened.
Well, do you know what? If they want to tell their side, they should make a fucking podcast.
Too right. They probably will now next week.
Yeah, exactly.
The truth about Carly.
Yeah, the truth about how Carly's a lying bitch. On the Truth Club. The irony.
Let's hope they don't do that. But thank you. That's Carly's highlights and lowlights.
How has your week been, babe? Highlights, lowlights? Tell us all. It's been a big week for you.
Big week, actually. Yeah, big week. I'll start.
Start with the low light because your highlight's amazing.
I was actually about to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So my low light is. This is taking you back again to a previous episode.
She doesn't cling on to things, I promise.
No, exactly. I just move on. There's no grudges here. The dog. The dog has been my low light of the week. I had a meltdown on Saturday and I cried because she just does not stop barking. And I was just trying to sit down and watch Drag Race. You know what it's like, dear listeners. You just want to sit down and watch fucking Drag Race for a minute. And she was barking because she wanted to go outside. Then she wanted to come inside. Then she wanted to go outside. Then she wanted to go upstairs and downstairs. And it's just driving me crazy. And
is it just the barking, or is she doing anything else?
Oh, she does everything. She eats everything. Eats all the. I don't want. Yeah, I mean,
you don't want to talk about it. Do you?
Well, I could, but we'll be doing the truth about dogs again.
Our least popular episode.
Our least popular episode. Funnily enough, Alyssa just moaning about a dog. So that was my low light, and ends up with me just crying on the phone to Will, going, "I just can't take it anymore. What's the point? I don't like it."
I hear you.
Yeah. So that was good. Will loved that. So that was my low light. But my highlight, everybody, it's so exciting. Will and I today, we made an offer on a new house, and it's been accepted.
Hooray!
Yay! And it's a really cool story, actually, listeners. I'll tell you a very quick version. We've been looking everywhere for a new house, but we just love the road that we live in. We just need a bit more space. And miraculously, a house became available on our road. And we've just gone and bought it. So we're moving to a fabulous house on the same road.
I think it's amazing because actually, I mean, unless you know Alyssa and listen to this and have been to a house, like, her road is like a lovely, quiet cul-de-sac. Take it from me. Like, I mean, I'm very happy with where I live, but I'm a single lady in the hustle and bustle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm right in the busy part of town. I'm near buses, trains. Like, let's go everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But
she can just go, go, go.
I can go, go, go. So there's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes I just wish all the noise would fuck off.
Yes. And my road's a bit like that. So that's my highlights.
Wonderful.
Yay!
Wonderful. It's been a big week for you. I'm going to try and actually do something by next week.
Do what? Something?
Anything.
Something. Apart from drinking in people's gardens.
I mean, I don't really know what else there is to do, but I'll try and do something by next week.
Okay, babe. Why don't you just try and drink in a different garden each day?
Oh, that's a wonderful challenge.
That could be a good challenge for you.
It's a bit like when I tried to watch all the Marvel films.
Yes, it is like that.
It's exactly the same, except more fun and something I actually enjoy.
We'll report back next week, dear listeners, as to how many gardens Carly's been able to get drunk in this week.
Wonderful.
Exciting stuff.
I'm well excited. This week we are going to be telling the truth about dating, because everyone's done it, whether you're happily married, unhappily married, divorced, single, everyone's been dating. And it's that horrible and quite stressful, I find, time before you know where you stand in the relationship with that person. And also, especially with the advent of like online dating, the dating stories we have started to hear are just getting more and more outrageous that we thought we have to talk about this.
We have to talk about it. I'm so excited for this episode.
Oh, I love it. So let's start off. You're married now.
That's right.
What was your first date like with your husband?
With Will? Oh,
yeah.
Why am I asking you to clarify which husband you mean? Will?
With your only husband
with the only husband I've ever had. What am I talking about? Oh my God.
Lisa, just
drink more
wine. Drink more wine.
So, yeah, my first date with Will was awesome, actually, and he mirrored it to propose to me. So the first date with Will was he took me to Cambridge, and we went on one of those little boats.
Oh, that's cute.
It was really cute, and we had like a picnic, and it was super cute. We got really, really drunk, and we decided that we were going to like marry each other. Even on the first date, and then we went, oh no, like, what are we talking about? This is crazy. But we were right, and it was one of those things we just kind of knew.
That's what everyone who apparently finds that says.
And then he actually took me back to the same spot, like the same place, to propose.
Oh, that is good.
Which was really, really cute. But it was really funny though, because he proposed. I might as well tell this now. He proposed, but he didn't propose. Like, he took me out on the little boat, same as the first date, and he said, "I've brought you here to ask you to marry me." And then there was just
and then you were
silence.
just like, "Well, are you going to ask?"
So that's what I said. I said, "Go on then." And that's not very romantic, is it?
Well, no. To be fair, he was obviously very
He
nervous.
was so nervous.
But that is not a proposal.
No, it's not a proposal. I had to get him. So I said, "Go on then." He went, "Oh, will you marry me?" I said, "Yes." And then it started raining on our little boat, and all of the paddles fell onto the river. So we had to like try and get them out and paddle ourselves back to the side. So a bit of a metaphor for life there.
Lovely.
It's been stormy weather ever since, but no, it's great. So that was my first date with my hubby, and so I think that was probably was my best date, because I had a really good result in the end as well. Carly was talking to me about some of her dates before this episode, so you're in for a treat, listeners. What is your best date that you've been on, my love?
Oh wow. Okay, the person ended up being a wanker, but the first date itself was absolutely
Don't worry about what happens afterwards.
Don't worry about what happens afterwards.
The date.
So it was when I went. So I had met this person who you actually know at a comedy festival, and he ran one of the venues. And he lived in another city, which is where the comedy festival was happening. And he wanted. Anyway, afterwards, he phoned me to make sure I got home okay. And I was like, this is very weird. Like, this does not happen. Like, comedy promoters do not care.
You told me that, and I was like, he so fancies you.
Yeah, and of course, I'm there like, no, he doesn't. Nobody fancied me.
I know, like, shocking with that voice.
And then he
use on your date.
Well, I don't know why they don't want to be with me. It's my thick voice.
So he called.
And then he kept calling me, like, quite regularly. He would phone me up and be like, hey, just seeing how you're doing. But it wasn't like a thing, because we lived in different cities. And then one night, I think he was quite drunk. He phoned me up and had the guts to actually ask me on a date.
Nice.
And I was like, well, I don't live where you live. And he booked me a hotel in the city he was in so that I could go on a date with him. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
he did. He booked me a hotel. And I went up there, and we ended up having such a fun night. So it started off very placid and calm.
Yeah.
We went for a drink, and it was like a normal date. But then, as we all know, I'm a legend.
Yes.
So it basically escalated into us going clubbing until 3 a.m.
That's so fun.
And having such a fun time. And we ended up in this nightclub. We were like the oldest people there by some way. And I just remember being really drunk. And him convincing me that convincing these random young people that we'd been married and it was our 20-year anniversary and that we were actually in our 50s and they were believing us, and he was going like, her surgeon is incredible. And we ended up just having such a laugh.
Oh, that sounds great.
And then the date ended up lasting 3 days because I didn't want to come home because we were having too much fun. Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, that's epic. So that's like a really epic first date that turned into like a whole weekend.
It turned into a weekend of partying and a great time and fun, and we had such a laugh. Anyway, he turned out to be incredibly insane and abusive.
Yeah, I know that bit of it.
But that didn't happen for like a long time, like a year later. I had like a year of fun.
And you got that amazing date, story out of it. So
absolutely. Sorry, I'm being pushed out of the way of the microphone by my dog there.
He's very jealous of Holly's date stories.
He doesn't like it. So here's the thing. Whenever I'm seeing a new guy and I decide to introduce them to my dog, and it's a big deal, and they come to my house for the first time.
Yeah.
Indy either snuggles them or growls at them.
So yes, he's the gauge.
He's the barometer.
I love that. Has he snuggled anyone lately?
No, only growling. Have you ever been on like a really bad, disastrous date?
Yes, Carly, I have.
Many? Or tell us if you've got one in mind. I think. Tell us one or two, because I love these stories. This is actually why we're all listening to the podcast. This is what we live for.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's so many. So when I was trying to do the internet dating thing, I did the that site, My Single Friend. You know when your friend had to write
MyLonelySingleFriend.com.
My desperate friend.
Yeah. When it first started, that was what I kept calling. It was like, this is so bad for everyone's self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like, my lonely friend. Please, take her off my hands. She won't stop hanging around with me and my husband.
mythirdwheel.com.
Yeah.
So I was on mythirdwheel.com and I had been chatting to this guy and we'd organised to go for a date. And now I did mention this in the podcast before last. I like a taller gentleman, and he had ticked the box of being, I think, between 5'10" and 6'4" or something. So I was like, okay, yeah, he's in the box. So we arranged to meet in Piccadilly, and we were going to go for a coffee. And it was like packed Piccadilly Circus, and I was all nervous anyway. And he came to meet me like in the middle of Piccadilly Circus, and he was vertically challenged. Is that a thing? Can I say that?
A similar story.
Have you actually?
This must be an epidemic.
Is this a thing? This is a thing. I think people just tick the wrong box on purpose. So hoping that then their personality will just win you over.
It rarely does because they're a bunch of liars.
Well, exactly. So he was teeny tiny. I got all flustered. And I didn't know what to do. So he went, okay, off we go. Let's go for a coffee. And so he started walking. I tripped over my own feet and fell over in the middle of Piccadilly Circus. And he was still walking and talking.
With tiny steps.
But he hadn't got very far, obviously, because he was so small. And then he looked behind and I was just lying on the floor in Piccadilly Circus. So that was a really embarrassing first start to the first day. Then we went for coffee and it was pure awkwardness. And so that was one. I've got so many. Do you want to tell one next?
Well, I'm going to tell you my vertical challenge date now.
Oh yeah, go on.
So I went on a date with this guy, and first of all, I want to say, and I should have known, he put that he was tall, but I should have known because you know his actual name was Dobby. Like the house elf.
That's not his actual name.
Yeah, his name was Dobby.
Oh my god.
So I should have known he would be the size of an elf. Straight away, I should have known he was an elf.
His name was Dobby?
His name was
You
Dobby.
actually went on a date with someone called Dobby?
Yeah, but I was really single at that point.
No,
and I
so
just
you don't want to judge people for their name.
No,
it's not fair, is it?
I didn't want to judge someone for their name because obviously, like, you can't change that unless you decide to change it.
I would have done, I think. I really would have gone there. Anyway, carry on.
So
I
actually went to meet Dobby in the Bridge House, which is one of our favourite pubs.
Oh yeah, we love the Bridge House. Shout out to the Bridge House.
And I took my dog with me on the date because I just I'm obsessed with my dog.
See if he growls or
exactly.
Snuggles.
I wanted to see if he growled at this guy.
Yeah.
So I get there, same thing. It wasn't mega busy, but it was quite busy. And I go into the garden and I'm looking for a tall guy. And I look around and I realise that the tiny wee pixie
person pulling at the bottom of your
trousers.
trousers.
There was a little elf in the corner. A little tiny, like he looked like a maquette of a real man. And
what's a maquette?
You know when sculptures make the sculpture, but in miniature first of all. Yeah,
that's hilarious. That he did. He looked like a maquette.
He looked like a maquette of a real sized man.
Oh my gosh.
And anyway, so I politely in my head I'm going, just stay for one drink. Just stay for one drink.
Yeah.
Be polite. He has lied and has pissed you off, and so nothing is ever going to happen because I don't date people like that. We start talking, and I'd met him online, so I didn't know much about him. And one of the first things we start talking about is he said to me, "Look, I just need to tell you something." He said with so much confidence. He said, "I'm polyamorous. I don't judge that lifestyle at all, but I do like to be told of it before I agree to meet somebody because I'm not polyamorous. I am very selfish with my things." And he said, "I'm polyamorous and I've got a main girlfriend and I've got 2 side girlfriends. I'm looking for another side girlfriend."
You're nobody's side dish.
Side girlfriend? I'm the main girlfriend.
You're the main event.
Anyway, and then even worse, Alyssa. So I'm like awkwardly like, so I was polite. I was like, well, I'm not looking for that. So, and just did it, but in a nice way.
Yeah.
Then he tells me that he's actually come to see me at one of my shows and that he recognised my face in my profile and matched me rather than saying that in any of the messages. It was absolutely awful. So by this point, all of this information has come within the space of 15 minutes.
Bloody hell.
So I said...
So did you just give him a sock and tell him he was free?
Please high five me.
You're free to leave.
You're free to leave, Dobby. Go back in the kitchens of Hogwarts and be happy. No, it wasn't even that good. I lied. I said to him, "Oh, I've just realised I forgot to put money in the parking meter." So, no, there's no parking meters in that area.
He didn't even drive there.
He can't drive. He's too small. So he wouldn't know. Like he
wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know about driving because he couldn't reach the pedals.
Exactly.
But so it's so out of order. And I only can say it's because I do fancy short men.
Exactly. And also, can we just say we're nothing against short men?
Liars.
I don't fancy them. It's just liars. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's my issue.
This creepy guy saying in polyamorous, "Do you want to be my side dish?"
Yeah, it's like gross.
Ew, no.
Anyway, so I said that I'd put money in the car, and then I just drove away and blocked him and never spoke to him again.
I'm not bloody surprised. That is a good story though.
I couldn't believe
really
how small
good.
he was. Shocking.
Wow. I haven't got any stories as good as that. I did once date this guy who, for another one from my single friend, who said that he really liked me, but he couldn't see me anymore because I lived in Clapham and he lived in Welling, and it was too many changes on the tube.
That's mental.
to
So
get
you
to
both
me.
lived in South London.
Yeah, but he couldn't change. He didn't want to change lines to get to see me.
That's crazy. I mean, to be
Very
fair,
flattering, actually.
To be fair, though, I now will not date anyone who lives in North London. I've had enough of it. I keep dating people who live in North London. I can't be bothered anymore.
I love it. No, yeah, you need someone local.
In my house.
Yeah, so is that your search? So what's your search terms?
Well, as a single person now, I can actually discuss this.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I've had to set myself a new rule. I tried to set myself a new rule that I would, on my search criteria for my online dating, no one under the age of 30, but I did reduce that to 28 because I just couldn't bear all the old people.
How old do you go up to?
I got up to 40,
Oh.
which is not...
That's my age.
Yeah, it's like pretty much my age. Sorry.
You want to go a little bit older? Is it because you might have kids?
Well, I don't really mind if they have kids as long as I don't have to raise them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And also bear in mind, lots of men are absent fathers. So
yeah, so fingers crossed for one of those.
Fingers crossed, you know, if you're a terrible person.
As far as we've got here kids, as long as you completely cut them out of your life.
If you cut out your children,
can
or
date
just a shit man in
Yeah.
general
Just
who
a general with
can't
no
take on
morals.
his responsibilities or has no love for his family, then ideal.
Come see me.
No, it's a joke. If you're listening and want to date me, I disagree with that. So, so my age range is limited. It's age 28 to 40.
That's not bad. Okay, I see that. Yeah,
It's like a 12-year range.
Okay, and then have you got a location?
My location is a 6-mile radius of my house.
no, that's fair because actually that's quite far in London, really.
It's quite far. It goes up towards as high as like Brixton and down as far as Kent. Somewhere.
Nice. Okay, so you get this sort of Kent country boy.
Yeah, the conservative.
The Brixton.
Yeah, like a roadman.
A roadman.
Except, no, I don't know why I'm saying that. Brixton is not full of roadmen. In my experience of online dating, it's full of like posh boys.
And I'm not very street, so when you say roadman, I think you mean someone who works on the roads and does like, you know, the traffic lights.
Like a construction worker.
Like a construction worker. Is that not what that is? No, it's not, is it?
No, it's like it's what we used to call them rude boys.
Oh, rude boys. Is that what that is? Okay, yeah. My stepson was trying to explain this to me.
I think they're called roadmen because they're on the road. Listeners, please do get in touch with us via social media if you have a more accurate description of a roadman.
I'm thinking, like, you know, long haul delivery driver, roadman.
Oh,
someone who does the lines on the road. Yeah, I'm not really with them people.
This is really sad. I really love it when they do the lines on the road fresh and drive through the area and it's all redone and you're like, oh my god. Because I have
maybe you should be with a roadman, but the actual roadman.
The actual roadman. So I mentioned that I'm single and I love
just road paint.
Road paint. Hobbies include long bubble baths, walks on the beach, and noticing road paint.
I'm noticing fresh road paint. Get in touch if yours are the same.
Oh Jesus, wet. So I would like someone with like an interesting job that I can talk about.
Yeah, nice.
I don't feel like I would get on well with someone who had like a really mundane job that they didn't enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Someone maybe a bit creative,
creative.
Then they always end up twats.
Yeah, I mean, most importantly for me, though, in all honesty, is are they good at going downtown and doing oral sex on the lady?
Wow. Can you put that in like your profile?
No.
going downtown on the lady.
I don't really know how to say that in a polite way for the podcast, but I feel that that's very important to me. But the only problem is that you have to go on like a few dates and then let them do it.
And that, yeah.
And that's how you find out.
Well, of course, absolutely.
You can't just ask, because they're all going to think that, say they're brilliant.
They'll all say yes, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's obviously a very high priority for you, and fair enough, my darling.
One of my friends went on a date with a guy, and he made her believe he was very good at going downtown, and he bit her clit.
Oh my gosh!
And then, when she was in pain and asked him not to do that, he did it again.
Oh, that's a horrific story.
It's the worst dating story ever.
Oh
You
my
thought Dobby
God.
was bad.
I did. So actually, you should be able to put that on your profile to stop that kind of shit happening.
Well, I didn't think people were going around biting other people on the
was-
clit.
No.
It's awful.
Dear
That'd
God.
be like us biting a man's willy.
Yeah, I was about to say, if we bit their willies, they
Oh.
would be
We'd be blocked from the app.
we'd be blocked, also be arrested, wouldn't we?
Yeah, for assault.
Yeah, he should be
For penile assault.
for penile assault. I'm just trying to remember what was on my
what was
my
on your
dating profile. Well, I did that my single friend thing, so they wrote
Just-
it. Although I actually basically wrote it. My friend wrote it and then sent it back, and I edited it.
Oh,
and then
what? Because
sent
it wasn't good enough.
Well, yeah, I was just, I'm just a bit of a control. But I don't miss the dating world because I was really, really bad at it. I was always like super keen, like from the get go. If I liked someone, I would be like all in, like straight
Yeah.
away. And I also, not just on like dating sites, but just generally, I think as we mentioned in the podcast last week, slept with people too quickly.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of my.
But then if you're having a nice time, I don't see why you shouldn't sleep with them. It's only if it's detrimental to you and you know it is.
100%,
that it's bad.
100%. But what I found was we were having a nice time,
Mm.
and it was all going well, and then we slept together, and then suddenly I felt judged by him for
Yes.
sleeping with him,
Even though he put dick
even though
in you.
he slept with me. I kept thinking, hold on a minute, you slept with me too, didn't you? And we were having a nice time, so why shouldn't we just carry it on and have a nice time?
I 100% think
That's
this is
where
an
it all
issue.
got confused. And my worst story about this, dear listeners, is the accordion story. So basically, I was in a comedy pilot where I was playing this weird, freaky character. Like she was in a prison and she had this accordion, and I had this accordion, and I ended up sleeping with one of the producers of the show that night. Had a great night, really drunk, loads of fun, having a great time.
We've all slept with producers.
Oh, exactly. Went back to his, all going really well, brilliant, getting on great, and thought, well, you know what, let's just
Well,
carry
you're
on.
here and having a nice time. You get caught up in the moment.
Caught up in the moment. I just really wanted to. It was great. Next morning, suddenly the atmosphere changed. Like it was like the guy that was really into me the night before was not there anymore, and it was just this guy who basically judged me for sleeping with him. And I just felt really, really awkward, and just wanted to get out of there. And so I got my stuff together to leave, to do that, that kind of, walk of shame, but out of the actual flat that he was in was quite a shameful walk because it just felt weird and awkward. But I had to get this fucking accordion, so I picked it up, and the only really way to carry it was around my neck because I had my bag, and it was like basically it was like my exit had a really sad soundtrack.
Oh no!
So I was like, bye then, you've got my number. I'm like walking to the door. So I'll probably see you at the rap party. Had a really good time with my accordion.
Oh, that's so
my
sad. It was
God.
so in tune with you. My
It
dog's
was-
making the noise with an accordion
Even
now.
Indy's upset about my accordion story. So that was just an absolute disaster. And I've got quite a few of those in the old backpack.
I almost want to mic the dog.
Yeah, Mike the dog, so you can hear. Indy, you're upset that I slept with someone and he was mean to me and I had to do an accordion exit, aren't you, darling?
It's not doing it now,
he
so that
doesn't
wasn't
care.
going to be
He
funny.
doesn't
but it's
actually
not.
care. Doesn't actually care.
I had the only walk of shame I've had that was like really epic and awful. I mean, I've had a few walks of shame, but like usually I make them drive me home or something.
Yeah, for sure, exactly.
I had to do this speed dating thing.
I was about to ask you about speed dating. Tell me.
I've never really done it. Basically, what they did was they got comedians in. They paid us to be there to be interesting participants in the speed dating.
Oh, that's so funny. Were you
like,
single
like a
at the
ringer.
time?
I was single at the
Oh,
time.
okay.
But not all the comedians were. We were all just there for money. And also,
Okay.
most of the people there were fucking weirdos. Anyway, so I ended up, I didn't really fancy any of them.
Right.
And then at the end, this guy came up to me at the bar and was like, can I buy you a drink? You were like my favourite person to talk to. And I thought,
Love it.
well, my train's not for another half hour.
Nice. Why
The
not?
funniest thing about it is his name was Fernando Fernandez.
Why is he with these weird names?
I don't know.
Dobby? Fernando Fernandez?
Fernando
Fernandez. I love that. It's just amazing.
And I'll never forget that man's name, even though I've only met him once in my life. What turned out as a half an hour drink? So you know me. Once I start drinking, I get giddy with excitement.
She does. I do.
I'm so excited to be
It's just out and drinking and having fun.
So I ended up having sex with Fernando Fernandez at his house.
Yes.
But I was so drunk that when I woke up, I wasn't really sure where his house was.
Right. Okay.
I knew it was somewhere in London.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure which quadrant of London.
Right.
So I woke up and I had the same thing. He was really cold and weird with me the next day.
Oh God! Why does that happen?
And the next day, he told me he had self-esteem issues and sometimes thought about killing himself. I'm not even joking. He said this.
Oh wow, that's some sexy morning chat.
And normally I would be concerned, but to be honest, I didn't even know this guy. I was so hungover that I was barely functional. But the worst thing was I really needed a hangover poo.
Oh God! And you're in someone else's
and I'm
house.
in someone else's
house. That's the worst. It's the worst.
And I knew it was going to be horrible, and I was just going to feel really embarrassed about it.
Yes, totally.
So I did the hangover poo, but then I couldn't flush the toilet.
Oh no!
There must have been a knack to it. So I just quickly left.
You ran away.
I ran away, so I left this suicidal man with massive poo in his toilet. It's so awful.
It's a beautiful story.
I say we had sex. We didn't even have actual sex.
No.
We were so drunk. You know, you're so drunk, you just kind of do some other stuff.
I do know that.
I just didn't think sex mechanically worked.
I'm just imagining this guy telling you he's so depressed, and you just go have a poo in his flat and then run away.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. I did the poo and then ran away. Here's what I think of your mental health problems.
It's really what a load of shit. Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So funny.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We had such a laugh talking all things dating that we ended up hanging out and chatting for ages. That's why we've decided to split this episode into 2 parts. So tune in next week for The Truth About Dating Part 2. Oh, and you can support this podcast by sharing it and following us on Instagram and Facebook @Truth Club Podcast. See you next week.